So this is a project that I have shouted out before a couple of times. And I want to, tune back in here. It's almost April. 2022 is about we're 4 months in. So let's check in on mappingpoliceviolence.us. And mappingpoliceviolence.us has a chart that I want to look at here specifically. And this is this chart right here. Police are killing at rates similar to past years. So this project basically maps every single police killing, murder. Every time police murder someone, violate their constitutional right to a speedy trial, violate their constitutional protection from cruel and unusual punishment, right? And, again, let's real quick scroll down here to this statistic. 98.3% of murderers in the police departments do not even get charged, right? So, again, this is a huge problem. So, a lot of people, love to, say, oh, the police were defunded. They defunded the police. I don't know who they is. They defunded the police. They've been defunded, and now we gotta refund the police. The police, the boys in blue, they need our funding. They were defunded by the radical left. That's what people love to say. Even Joe Biden loves to say that as he's 3x police funding. But again, if we look at this specific chart right here, we see that 2022 is actually progressing at a pretty much the same rate as every other year that we have seen. And so again, let's assume we lived in the fantasy world where all the police have been defunded and this stat was remaining the same. Well, then that would have been an unsuccessful project that did not fix the problem. But again, that's not the world we live in. We live in the real world where police actually got more money. So again, George Floyd was murdered, right? All across the country, all across the world, there was a gigantic uprising of people saying, yeah, police violence, not so good, that's actually bad, right? And that's where the defund the police movement really took hold. And, police abolition is now something that people will talk about in the mainstream a little bit, and it's good that they talk about that in the mainstream a little bit. But again, defund the police is a movement that took hold during this time. And for whatever reason, most Americans have been convinced that because someone said defund the police somewhere, that it actually happened. I don't know how most Americans have been convinced that is the case. But again, Americans pretty fucking stupid. Like, Americans are fucking dumb. Like, they're dumber than dog shit, right? So a lot of Americans think, oh, someone walked in the street and said defund the police, therefore police have been defunded. If that were the case, right? If that were the case, then I've got news for you. There would be no black people in this country because a long time ago, the KKK was walking through the street, right? And they were saying, let's kill all the black people. So if that's like, I'm just saying, right? If this were the marker of how things to get done, someone walks in the street one time and says something and therefore it happens, our country would be a hell of a lot worse right now. I'm just saying, right? Now, our country right now, pretty bad. It's really bad. But it could be worse, and that's great. So again, the idea that police have been defunded is completely, it's fiction. Anyone that's going to pretend to you that police got defunded, as any, like, in a couple cities slightly defunded and a little bit, but also not really. Again, anyone that's going to pretend that this is a thing is lying to you or dumb. They're stupid and they're dumb, right? So again, this statistic pretty much proves that police killings are pretty much at the same rate. And as you can see, in 2021, there were 1,135 police murders by December 31st, 2021. That's a lot. That's a lot of people being murdered, right? So again, these are big problems. Now think about the people that are murdered, but then think about the people that are paralyzed, like we saw in Kenosha, Wisconsin in 2020, with Jacob Blake, who did not get murdered, but was paralyzed, right? So they would not be counted in this statistic. But again, they also have had their lives permanently altered by police violence. So we need to understand, yes, murder is just the worst of the possibilities. But also, again, people are unjustly thrown into steel cages for the rest of their lives. People are unjustly paralyzed. People are unjustly injured in other ways. Brain injuries are common, right? So again, police do not just, it's not a binary. Either they murder you or, you're fine and you got like a free lollipop at the end of your dentist appointment, right? It's murder, it's paralyzation, it's, a permanent injury, it's, putting you in the hospital for several years of your life and just sacrificing your life to the hospital, it's throwing you in a steel cage, right? So again, there's all these other things that police do, and this is just the most extreme aspect of it. And so yes, this just proves police need to be defunded, dare I say, abolished. Let's throw out this whole system. Again, police started as slave patrols. That's where the police fucking came from in this country. I say, is it possible to live in a world without any law enforcement whatsoever? Maybe. Yes, I think it's possible. Could we do that tomorrow? Probably not. I think it's going to take a while to build us as a civilization, as a species, till that point. That said, what we can do tomorrow is pretty much start working on a new project and just get rid of the old project. I think if you have ever been a police officer ever, you need to be fired and banned from anything ever. We need to start a completely fresh system of law enforcement in this country, right, that is founded on rehabilitation, that is founded on justice, that is founded on care, compassion, right? And anyone that's a cop right now who's already been poisoned, they are no good. They are a bad apple. They are spoiled, and we need to throw them the fuck out. I know not all cops kill people. Not all cops throw people in steel cages for marijuana or other stupid shit that they shouldn't be doing, right? But yes, I'm going to say all cops have been poisoned to some degree by the system that they operate in. So I'm going to go ahead and say, if you've ever been a cop, you should be banned from any law enforcement, and we need a completely new system. So, but is that going to happen? Probably not, right? Like, we live in the real world, let's be honest, right? We're probably still going to be dealing with thousands of deaths per year, thousands of paralyzations, thousands of unnecessary, injuries, thousands of unnecessary, placements into steel cages. We're going to be dealing with this for a while because fascism not only is on the rise in this country, but they won. The fascists won a long time ago. I want people to really, really understand this. This isn't like the rise of fascism. This is the result of fascism, right? We live in an occupied society. Our society has been occupied by terrorists, by thugs. We live in a fascist society. If I can't go outside and smoke weed, there's a problem. I'm just saying, right? If I would have jackbooted thugs like fucking either kill me, murder me, right? Throw me in a box for 60 years for smoking weed. Unless, wait a second, I walk on the other side of the magical line. Again, that's a problem. So we live in an occupied point in time here, and I want people to understand that, again, the fascism is not on the rise. Fascism is the default in this country, and to be honest, in the world, but especially in the United States of America. And so I'm just, throwing that out there. Police killings, not getting any better. Not getting any better. So, but yeah, I thought the cops were defunded, bro. That's crazy.